Hey, Bill. I hate to ask it, but can you give an update on Mauti and how difficult of a situation is that for you to kind of see a kid go through that?
I can't really give you an update. I really can't. I don't know yet. We meet on all the injuries early in the week, so I don't know the diagnosis. But all I can say is that in your career, as fortunate as I've been to be around some very special players. I mean, you're thinking about some of the players that you've had the fortune to coach, and I've coached the greatest. I've coached the Hall of Fame quarterback and Hall of Fame receivers and great players, and he's one of the most special players I've been around.
How difficult is it to see a kid go through what he's going through?
Well, he's a fighter, and man, I respect guys who, when they get knocked down, get back up, keep fighting, and that's what he's done, and gotten stronger. And I know to whatever the extent of the injury is, I'm sure he's going to do it again, because that's who he is. That's not something that comes and goes. That's who Mike Mauti is, and that's one of the reasons why we love him so much.
What has he meant to the team and the defense, given the situation that you came in?
He's been a pillar of strength. There was never any wavering, never any. There's no wishy-washiness with him. It's this or it's this, and man, when he's with you, he's with you, and he's with us. And we're with him.
Can you talk about the emotion of that situation? Bill was up here almost in tears, and Ted Roof. These things hit. You think you're tough football players, but how difficult is it to kind of deal with them?
Yeah, I mean, we're all tough football players. You can say that, but I mean, we all got big hearts, and when you see a guy put all that kind of work in and then see him go down again, it's not something that you want to see, especially when it's a guy that has been around and has meant so much to so many people here. It just hurts. It hurts, and you just try. You do what you can to cope, but at the end of the day, it just sucks to have to deal with. But we'll be there and we'll support no matter what.
It's tough, man. We in week this week 12. We in week 12, man. It's just to have an injury like that, and he was having an All-American season, and we're gonna have a promising future now. A setback like that, I mean, who knows what's going through his head? But I just told him, as a friend, as a teammate, just told him to keep his head up, and God has a plan for him. He just got to keep fighting, which he will. So,
You guys have gone through so much, even beyond football. I mean, I have to imagine that makes all those bonds that much tighter, and when you see somebody hurt, it makes it that much more difficult.
A guy like Mauti, man, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone on his team can say many great things about him.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it happened to him, I mean, I don't want it to happen to anyone, but the fact that it happened to him and everything he had to go through, his adversity, his whole career here, it sucks. If I could trade places with him, I take it for him. He's having a great season. I just wish it never happened to him.
Gerald, Bill O'Brien's kind of emotional talking about Mike, and so is Ted Roof. How emotional is it?
I mean, they have a great relationship with Mike. All the seniors do, and then I'm hoping to finish out the whole entire year with him, and then him go down like that. It just, probably brings tears to their eyes. So, like I said, it's emotional for each and every one of us. He's our leader. He's a vocal leader too. So
you see him come back out on the bench toward the end of the game, and pumping his fist to the crowd and stuff. What does that mean?
It just means he's just letting everyone know he's all right. Mike's one of the toughest guys I've ever seen in my life. So he's letting everybody know. I know he's gonna get through it. He's been through it. With any type of knee injury, he's been through it all. So I'm pretty sure he'll get regrouped with this one fine.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You just don't know what to say. You don't want to see that happen at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're hoping for the best.
And yet, you guys, difficult situation after he goes down. You guys kind of rally and play real well. How important?
We knew we had to step up for him more than anything, because he wasn't going to hold it. He wouldn't hold his head. He know if somebody else went down that he'd have to step his play up, and that's what we went out there and did.
There's a number of leaders on this football team, but Mike has kind of been the leader of this football team. If you had to pick out one guy, so he's done an unbelievable job this year, and he's put his heart and soul into this team and this university, and you know, that carries a lot of emotion with it.
Okay. I'm gonna say it reminds me of Odysseus a little bit. Are you familiar with the Odyssey at all?
Yep.
You know, they try to travel back home after you know the fighting from and that was covered in the Iliad, I believe. And the whole while you know they're trying to make it back, they face these troubles and these setbacks, and they get sent astray. But all the while, he's determined and focused to get back home, to stay the course, and no matter what comes in their way, whether it's the Cyclops, it's the Sirens, things of the sort, he stays dedicated to get back to his family. And I see a lot of parallels between Mauti and him, and the way that Mauti just keeps fighting to come back, to keep playing, because at the end of the day, he's a football player. And I have no doubt that if he wants to, he'll be back, and he'll be playing on Sundays if he really wants to do it, because he's that type of guy.
You had said you weren't particularly close to him as some of the other guys, but what has he meant to you personally in the past year, or even throughout your career?
I mean, he's meant a lot to me. He's been a great leader for us. He's shown me some things about how to be a good leader, how to kind of do things the right way, especially this offseason, just watching the things he does, trying to have the same type of work ethic, the same type of dedication. I mean, he really means a lot to us.
Is it like a leadership thing that I guess showing you leadership qualities that you didn't know people could have? Is it one of those things?
He's who he reminds me of? Sean Lee. I'm not, I'll make that comparison. Sean, when I first got here at Penn State, he was just this amazing leader. When he spoke, everyone listened. When he said something, everyone was dead silent and listening to what he had to say. And I'd say it's exactly the same way with Mauti. Just the way he carries himself, his focus in the off-season, just his attention to details in every little thing, it forces you to respect a guy like that. And every single person on the team has respect for him. And I say without a doubt, he's our senior leader, and he will continue to be in spite of this.
John, you guys didn't, you reacted positively. You didn't let that drag you down.
No.
And that's kind of, I'm sure, what he would want you guys to do. But how much pride do you take in the fact that the team, after witnessing something difficult like that, was able to kind of overcome and still take care of business out there?
Well, it's a good sign. When in a football game there's ups and downs, and obviously, that's a terrible down point in the game. But to be able to take that and turn it into, a positive and try to go out there and put up points and try to win this game for Mike and all that he's given for this team, it really motivated us to really try to play well and, win this game for him.